Hello! In this video we're going to be looking at LeetCode problem 415, which is add strings. This problem states given two non-negative integers, num1 and num2, represented as string, return the sum of num1 and num2 as a string. And the wrench they throw here is you must solve the problem without using any built-in library for handling large integers, such as big integer. You must also not convert the inputs to integers directly. So the easy way to do this would be to convert these to numbers, add them, and then put it back into a string. Or convert it back to a string, but that's not what they're allowing us to do. So in the first example, we're just adding these two numbers. 11 plus 123 is 134. 456 plus 77 is 533. And 0 plus 0 is 0. So the way we're going to approach this is called the reverse method, where we're gonna build the answer, and at the end we'll have to reverse it. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Let's start by defining some variables. So we're gonna have an int sum. We'll keep track of the actual sum, and that's going to be 0, and it will be an integer. So we also need to parse through num1 and num2. So we're going to define a variable, an integer, which will be num1 length. -1 for zero-based indexing. Same thing for num2. So num2 length -1. Alright, so now we're going to define a string builder. I'll call it SB. And we'll instantiate it. I am having a trouble typing today. Okay, and this is good. The string builder is to help us at the end to reverse everything and pass back the correct answer. So let's just iterate through num1 and num2. So while I is greater than or equal to 0, or j greater than or equal to 0. All right, so we'll start with I first. If I greater than equal to 0, what are we going to do here? So we need to add this number to the sum. So sum is equal to sum plus num1 char et, which will grab the character I. Now what we do here is we subtract 0 from that, because the character at position I is different than the actual number, and so when you subtract 0 from there, you recognize that, hey, we need the number out of there. And then we're just going to subtract from I as we get closer to 0. All right, now we need to do the same thing with j, so I'm just going to copy this. So if j, I seem to be having trouble typing today, if j is greater than or equal to 0, we're going to do the same thing. Sum equals sum num2 char et j. Okay, so this will get all the numbers. So we append the sum mod 10, which will just append the 3. So now we need to make sum. Now we can change the value of sum because we've got it stored in string builder. Or whoops, SB. I guess I named it SB. So SB append. So now that's in the string builder. So now we can do sum equals sum, and then we'll just divide by 10 to get rid of the 3, and now we just have the 1. So that, in effect, carries the 1 over into the next. So when we add the two numbers, it's going to include the 1. Now at the very end here, there might be a remaining value in sum when we break out of the loop. And so we need to capture that. So just append that. Now, that put when we appended it to the string builder, it actually built it backwards. So all we need to do is call the reverse function in the string builder, and then we need to string it. And that should be the answer. So let's debug this and see what happens. Okay, so I use the 456 and the 77. So we'll start here, sum is 0, length of num1 is 2, or it's actually 3 minus the 1, so 2, and then 2 minus 1 is j. So when you string builder, both I and j are greater than 0, I is greater than 0, so it's going to take and add the 6. So sum is now equal to 6. We'll subtract out subtract 1 from I. We'll do the same thing with j. So sum is 6. 6 plus the 7 plus 6, 13. Decrease j, and now append the sum mod 10. So now string builder just has the 3. Then we'll divide by 10. And so now sum equals 1. Now we're going to grab the 5, so now sum equals 6. J, we're going to grab the 7. And we've got 13 again. So now we're going to add this, append this. So now there's the 3 because we took the sum mod 10. And now we need to get rid of the 3. So again, we're carrying a 1. And the value of sum is 1. All right, so the value of I is greater than or equal to 0. We'll grab that 4. Sum is 5. We are done with j, because j is not greater than or equal to 0. So we're going to append that 5, and sum equals sum mod 10. So now I is false, and j is false, because we've gone through the whole thing. We don't have a remainder from the sum, and so we're just going to, we've got 335. What we need is 533. So reverse that, and that's the answer, 533. All right, so I ran this already, and I had a few mistakes. So I just corrected them instead of having you watch me do it. So I had nums here instead of num2, so I changed that, and then I had I here, so it was giving me time limit exceeded. So now when I run it, I apologize for that, is accepted, and I will submit it. Faster than 47, memory usage less than 64. Let's submit it again. Sometimes you get lucky. Woo! We're up to 69 and 54. So the time complexity is O of n. We have the while loop, which parses through num1 and num2. So that is O of n. And same thing for the space complexity. If num1 and num2 are larger, then it needs more space. And that's it. So thank you for watching. Let me know if you have questions, and we'll see you next time.